I'm fixing to do a commentary as far as Weavier's Kirby's Adventure review is concerned. Now, before I begin to bash on the guy, let me go ahead and praise him first. First of all, I think he is an excellent reviewer. I think he does an excellent job, quote unquote, reviewing Wii games, Virtual Console games, and WiiWare games. But that's the point of his username. Actually, it's quite funny actually, and it's quite clever. It's Wii Viewer. It's quite funny actually, but he's also an excellent parent as well. I think it's neat that he treats his videos as if they were a family project. I think it's neat that both his boys can participate in some of his reviews, especially the Louie viewer. The Lewis viewer, not so much, but the Louie viewer, he participates in probably about 60% of his reviews. And more or less, I think it's a great aspect that, the Wii viewer, makes lets his boys participate in some of the reviews. I think it's also neat that both his parents are part of cameos in some of his videos, and I think that's pretty unique as well. Now, here's where the shit really hits the fan. I actually seen some of his earlier reviews, and really, I am not impressed with him. He claims that Star Tropics is a ripoff of Zelda whenever Nintendo made both games. He claims Bonk's Adventure was average, but really gave it no reason, except he just bashed on it. And then we have Kirby's Adventure. He bashes on Kirby's Adventure way too much in this review, and I understand he has a revision for Kirby's Adventure, but the thing about it is that it was a matter of too little too late because his revision came out in December 2009. The review he did came out in April 2008. If he's got so much hate on that one review, then either he could have redone it or he could have done a revision earlier. But more or less, that would be hypocritical on what I said because I did a commentary on an old video that I did back in 2008, and it took me up to this time to actually claim that video was utter shit. But the thing about it is that his Kirby's Adventure review is just garbage, and he played Kirby 64 before playing Kirby's Adventure, and really, more or less, he bashes on the game because of that aspect. And he also claims the game is very monotonous and very, tedious and very repetitive and very easy. And that's basically what his whole review is all about. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and get this commentary started, and I apologize if I was dragging this this intro out a bit much.
Kirby's Adventure. Kirby's first adventure on the NES is a standard platformer with a lot of secrets to unlock. The game is really easy though, and you can pretty much power through the entire game in 3 hours. The story is about Kirby, who finds out that King Dedede has broken the Star Rod into 7 pieces, and given them to his 6 friends, who are then taken into their worlds to use to take over. I guess. Kirby's claim to fame is his ability to suck in enemies and gain their abilities. There are 24 powers you can get. They're not all useful as attacks, but most of them are. My favorite attack was the tornado. It was very easy to clear out a bunch of enemies. But the worst had to be the parasol. Not only was the attack range small, but it made Kirby look gayer than usual when he's slowly gliding down.
Here's where the review jumps the shark and is literally torn into a million pieces. First of all, you claim the parasol has no friggin' range. The thing about it is that the parasol, it may not be as useful as the sword, the cutter, the ice, or the tornado, but at least you can use it as a weapon. I wouldn't be complaining much, pal. And also, the thing about it is that at least it's better than the friggin' sleep attack that Kirby uses whenever he's sucking up the enemies that have the hats. I'm not sure what they're called. But either way, at least it's more useful than that weapon, because if I'm not mistaken, all it does is either regain your health or it does nothing. Either way, it's more useful than that. Second of all, you claim Kirby is gay because he floats down with a parasol. Oh my gosh. What are you? You trying to stereotype the friggin' gays? Are you going to claim that every Super Smash Bros. Brawl character that is a male, such as Sonic, Mario, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, are you talking about any male character that is in Super Smash Bros. Brawl that uses a parasol for a weapon? Are you going to consider them gay? Are you going to consider Mega Man, who, whenever he gets equipped with the quick boomerang in Mega Man 2, are you going to consider him gay because he changes from blue to pink? Oh, and speaking of Mega Man, your comparison to the parasol is almost as equally as bad as this reviewer I'm fixing to show whenever he calls Mega Man the N-word because he's black in one of the scenes for Mega Man 9. Oh, and y'all know who I'm talking about, don't you?
And look at this. Now I'm black. Fucking Mega Man a nigger now, too? Fuck you, Mega Man. Fuck you.
The level design is where I found it a bit monotonous. You go through one boring level after another. I'm sorry to all the Kirby fans, but the levels felt the same, and I had to force myself to keep playing.
First of all, what you just said as far as the levels being monotonous is just stupid. It's a platformer. Your logic fails in that aspect. And second of all, you claimed in the beginning part of the review that there are hidden paths in this game. Am I correct? So why the hell are you calling this game monotonous if you already said that there's hidden paths and hidden secrets in this game? My God, you can't even, you can't even be consistent to what you say, can you, jackass?
Almost everything that moves can kill you.
Almost everything can hurt you, not kill you. And also, it's a thing we love to call a challenge. If you can't understand that Kirby has somewhat of a challenge with the enemies as far as trying to run you over and whatnot, then you should not be playing it. It's a friggin' platformer like what I mentioned. The enemies do have somewhat of a challenge.
With a strange exception, there is a level where you have to move around on an airship. You would think the propellers would hurt you, but they can't. It's just the background.
Time to call in the Intellivision, kid. Tell him what you gotta say, son.
I didn't know.
There are mini-bosses to fight, which break up the boredom, but they tend to have the same pattern. Jump over them, wait till they fire something at you, and shoot it back at them.
You claim the actual enemies are too hard and that they can instantly hurt you, and then you claim that the mini-bosses are too easy. Can we just be consistent and make up our fucking mind?
At the end of every world there's a big boss to fight, and those were truly fun, since they were so different from the enemies you've encountered so far. If you beat them, you can get a wand, which turns you into 3 Kirbys, so you can do a little dance before you go to the next world.
I didn't know.
There are also mini-games to play. Crane Fever, Quick Draw, and Egg Catcher. Please let me make this clear.
So I guess you're not going to explain, whether the mini-games are good or bad. You're not going to explain about the stadium mode. You're not going to mention the fact that Kirby can get a free power-up as far as the map is concerned before going on to the next level. You're not going to mention that, are you? I figured that. You show really inconsistency when it came to this review, huh, asshole?
I love Kirby games, but this game isn't as fun as some of the later titles. For example, Kirby 64 is a great game, and it's available for download on the Virtual Console, and I would recommend it over this game.
So, you're going to compare a game that came out in 2000 for the N64 versus a game that came out in 1993 on the original Nintendo. Are you out of your fucking mind? You're comparing oranges to friggin' apples. I don't know what kind of logic you were on whenever comparing these two games, but the thing about it is that the gameplay was better for the N64, and the graphics were better for the N64. You want to know why? Because the NES couldn't do as much as the N64. So your comparison between those two games is completely false. I understand that in your revision you compared Super Mario Bros. 3 with Kirby's Adventure, but the thing about it is that Kirby's Adventure was made for little kids. And still, to this day, I still love Kirby's Adventure. But the thing about it is that Super Mario Bros. 3, it was made for everybody. It was made for young kids up to like the old adults. So your logic is completely false between compared Super Mario Bros. 3 and Kirby's Adventure, and the same thing with Kirby 64 with Kirby's Adventure. So there you go.
The boring level design, the tedious gameplay, and the too easy difficulty level make this one not worth the Wii points. You should skip it.
So you're making a big deal about people spending $5 on a game. Are you kidding me? Hell, even the cartridge for Kirby's Adventure for the NES doesn't even cost that much. It costs between $8 to $10, either at eBay or Amazon. And I bought mine for $13 off of eBay. So I don't know why you would be bitching about that. My opinion about Kirby is this. It's a very good game. It's probably one of the best games for the NES. The only problem I have with the game is the fact that the controls can be slippery and they can be sensitive at times, but they're not that bad. And also the game can be too easy. But that's the only complaint about it because the game is made for younger audiences. And also the fact that, back in your earlier reviews as well, I noticed that you tend to curse a lot. I mean, I'll say this right now. My channel is not the cleanest channel to exist. I do curse like a sailor. But the thing about it is that you're trying to convince parents to buy the games, even if it's for the Virtual Console. And yes, even in your Knights review for the Wii, you said bullshit. I mean, come on, is a parent really want to hear your foul mouth? My God. I mean, like I said, you're trying to appeal to the parents and the kids, not to people about my age. You're trying to also appeal to the parents and the kids because the Wii is basically a family console, a family video game console. So, I don't know why in your earlier reviews you decide to curse up a storm compared to your other videos. But I guess that was before you decided to make your channel more kid-friendly than it was. I don't know. But either way, I do respect you as a reviewer. I do love your reviews. I do think you're a great reviewer. I just don't like your earlier works. I'm sorry, but they're complete garbage, especially the one for Kirby's Adventure. And even your revision wasn't even all that great. I'm sorry to say this, Wii viewer, but your revision wasn't all that great. But that's all I gotta say about it. This is Juniorfan89 or Juniorfan90. Out!